Welcome back to my sports world, which is your sports world. Like I said in my previous video that I made, that was about the 49ers game that is coming up this weekend. Sunday Night Football, TV game. We have another game going on this weekend as well. Sunday at 10:30 my local time, I think it is, in the morning. Thank God it's not one of those 6:30, 7 o'clock games. They are brutal. That is the Manchester United home game at Old Trafford against Liverpool. It's one of the top 3 games of the season. You know, the top 3 games are, of course, the ones against Liverpool, the ones against Man City, and against Chelsea, and you play them twice because it's home and away. But those are the 3 teams that I consider to be the top teams that we meet. Of course, other teams that can be involved in like a top thing is very often Leicester. You have Everton, Tottenham can be involved in that. So there's some tough games. But this Sunday we have the 49ers in the evening, and then but in the morning we have Manchester United. And I like Sunday games better than the Saturday games, just because of I watch the game and then I can flow straight into the NFL right after. Liverpool at Old Trafford. You know, we have had a kind of like a rough spell for a few 2 or 3 games. We had a couple of losses and a draw, I think it was, in the last 3 games. But we that in the Premier League. But we had done good in the Champions League. We beat Atalanta, so that was a good thing. I am not one of these puppets that are sitting online on regular media or social media. And touting negativity and being just consumed of all the negative things. Football is a balanced thing. It has some negative things, it has some positive things. It will always have that. All teams have it, all games has it, all leagues has it, all types of competition leagues has it. Football goes up and down, and there will always be moments where your team is doing not so great, and there will be the time when your team is doing really good. So that's part of being fan. We have our ups and downs. And if you look at what has been happened for the last 3 years, there's been way more ups than downs, and there will always be a period here and there during the season where you can look back and say, oh, we had a real rough spell there, and the players and the management has acknowledged that. They were saying, well, we have had a rough spell. So you know what? That's it. We played a fantastic good game against Atalanta. And for those of you who sits online or in media and say, oh, the first half was really bad, it wasn't that bad. You want to have a fake agenda. You're not paying attention. We had plenty of chances that we could have scored on. We had plenty of aggressive football that we were doing really good. Atalanta had maybe 3 chances and they scored on 2. So they were very clinical and very straight to the point. Could we have finished better? Yeah, we could have scored a couple of goals in the first half. I think I counted 3 huge chances in the first half. So with a little bit of luck, we could have had a couple of goals in the first half. In the second half, there was no doubt. We steamrolled Atalanta from the beginning to the end. It was almost like there was one team on the field. And you can see why. We were better trained, we were better conditioned, we had better stamina, we lasted longer. We didn't huff and puff around on the field. You can see the Italians was huffing and puffing. As soon as you hit the 60-minute mark, they were like exhausted. You can see it on them. They were holding their hips, holding their knees. You can see their eyes. They were taking deep breaths every time they had a little stop. They tried to slow down the game. So you can see that we were better. We were the better team. They run out of steam really fast. Now we know how they are. We never played them, but now we know how they are. and we will take account for that when we go to Italy and play the return game. But upcoming game against Liverpool, what are we looking at? We're looking at a game that is always big. Like, look at last year. I think we beat them in the FA Cup game, and I think was it a draw in the Premier League? I don't remember, but I think it was something like that. Liverpool games and Manchester City games are always not so much as Chelsea game, but I always have a big draw towards Man City and Liverpool games when Manchester United is playing. I think those are the two highlight games of the year, and maybe because they're both fairly local. You know, Manchester City and Manchester United are local, and Liverpool is right up there and kind of local team. So you know, you don't have many of those. There's Leeds, Liverpool, and Manchester City that are kind of local. So this Liverpool game, well, what can we expect? Well, I expect. Well, let me backtrack a little bit because I'm going too fast here now. This game is on condition on a few things. We have maybe, I'm saying maybe because nothing is set in stone right at this moment. Solskjaer had his presser where he talked about it. We have a few players that are maybe doubtful or questionable if they're going to start or play. Among them is Bruno Fernandes, Fred, and Rashford. We don't know how far along Varane has come. So we have to take a few things with precaution here. What is the team going to be if Varane is not ready? If Rashford can't play? If Bruno can't play? If Fred can't play? That's 4 players right there. Who's going to step in and do a job? If Bruno doesn't play, I can see either Lingard or Donny van de Beek come in and take that role. If Varane is not playing, well, then we have Lindelof and Maguire, as we have had in the last game. When it comes to Fred, you're probably looking at Matic and McTominay if Fred can't play. If Rashford can't play, then I guess you're looking at either Sancho or Greenwood playing instead of Rashford, or maybe both are playing in that game. So what is an expected lineup? Well, let's take worst case scenario. Let's say that Rashford can't play, Varane can't play, Bruno can't play, Fred can't play. Let's assume that. That's worst case scenario. Let's assume all those 4 are not available for this game, which is the big one is Bruno. The other ones I think we can deal without. But I want to say that the most likely lineup is De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think that's pretty given. Then on the midfield, if Bruno and Fred can't play, I think we are looking at McTominay, Matic, Pogba, and Lingard. Lingard stepping in for Bruno. So that means we have 4 in the back. We have on the mid, we have Pogba, we have Lingard, Matic, and McTominay. So this will become like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2 something. But that means we probably will be seeing Greenwood and Ronaldo on top, probably, most likely. Since we're playing home, we probably want to go a little bit more aggressive and offensive to work. I was thinking somewhere on the line of maybe trying to get a 4-3-3 or something like that, or even maybe the diamond would work. But let's say we go for a 4-3-3 and we use McTominay, Pogba, and Lingard on the middle, and we use Cavani, Ronaldo, and Greenwood on top. if the four that I mentioned couldn't play. Of course, if Bruno is becomes ready and can play, then of course he will be the chosen one. Um, uh, if Rashford can play, will we see kind of like the same setup as we saw against Atalanta? Um, the big question mark here becomes, what about Fred? Will we play with two holding midfielders or one, or how? How will he be setting up this game, and the players for this game? Regardless of how we set it up, it's important that we have a high press. We cannot allow to invite Liverpool for free down into our area. They will be down there regardless. Don't get me wrong. Liverpool will be down there. Liverpool will have plenty of chances. But we have to be aggressive. We have to have a high press because we can't just invite them for free. We can't just say, okay, come and press us and we're going to counter you. That's not going to work at home. We can do that at Anfield. But at home, we have to have a high press. We have to take the game by the scuff of the neck. And we have to dictate how this game is going. At home, we have to dictate how the game is played. And I think that the very important thing here is, of course, can Bruno play? If Bruno can play, um, are we going to go Pogba and Bruno and McTominay and who else? Matic? I don't know. I have a feeling that game is going to be too fast, too high pace for Matic. So we need probably a player with a little bit more oomph in his legs, a little bit more speed. Although normally Matic is fairly secure on the ball, in normal circumstances. There's been a couple of games where he has been a little bit off, but the Leicester game was one of them. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think that as a fan, I hate to say this. It really rubs me the wrong way inside to say this, but I think that let me put it like this: there's two possible scenarios that are the way I see it. We can achieve a draw. I think 2-2, 1-1, 2-2 is achievable. I think that in best case scenario, that's what we can hope for. Worst case scenario, we lose big. Our defense, I mean, this has nothing to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics or whatever. He has to play the players that he has at his disposal. But we have seen Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof both commit terrible personal mistakes in the last 3 games. And there have been, as the result as of that has been goals. 2 goals because of Maguire didn't do his job. 3 goals because of Maguire didn't do his job, and at least 1 or 2 goals because of Lindelof not doing his job. So there's like 3 or 4 goals that we have conceded in the last 2 or 3 games, where it's down to personal mistakes and personal not paying attention. The 1 goal against Leicester with Harry Maguire at the end of the 18-yard box at the corner there was horrendous. What the hell is he thinking? And the corner against Atalanta where he's like has to lunge himself from the behind of the player because he didn't pay attention to the player running in front of him. So Harry Maguire has been very not very focused lately. He needs to step up and be very, very focused in this game, because regardless of who Liverpool plays, you know that Salah is going to play. You most likely Fabinho, maybe even Jota or whatever his name is, and Mane. They have strikers en masse. They can put strikers on you from any angle of the field, and I don't know what kind of formation Liverpool will play in this game, but they're never ever set up to play defensively. They are a team that goes out to play to win, just like Manchester City. So we can expect high pressure from Liverpool, high pace. They like to use their wingers. Salah is often played through directly from behind. So we have to be awake and we have to pay attention to what's going on here. I'm gonna give two predictions here. One prediction is best case scenario is a 2-2 or 1-1, a draw. Um, that's maybe the best we can hope for in this game. I think Liverpool is too good for us right now. Because I don't know, it all depends on which team we can put together. You know, if we can put Varane in, we can put Bruno in. You know, then we're a little bit better off. But if we have to play with Lindelof and Maguire, worst case scenario. What are we looking at? Worst case scenario. We score 1 or 2 goals, but we allow 3 or 4 or 5. So let's say best case scenario, we get a draw, 1-1 or 2-2. Worst case scenario, we lose, and we lose with, let's say, 3-1. Those are the two predictions that I can see happen. And I think that if we can hold Liverpool to a draw, I think that will be good right now at this time. At this time, I think we need a little bit more time. We need to get some key players back. I feel that right now we are like on the brink of going forward in a positive way. We're building on the win from Atalanta, you know, and you know, let me put it like this: most likely it will end up in a draw. I think that's the most likely thing. 2-2, 1-1, something. That's the most likely. 70%. I think there's a 20% chance that Liverpool will win. Either by like 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, something like that. And I think there's a 10% chance that we can sneak in and grab the win, but nick it with a goal or something at the like last 5 minutes. Will it be a nice, flowing, beautiful, picture perfect game? Heck no. No, this will be a game that will be decided on who wins the battle in the trenches. Expect a lot of cards. I tell you, expect a lot of cards. Let's just hope they stay yellow, and not too many to the same player. Okay, I think that will go both ways. Tough game, absolutely tough game, and we have to get through this game too, because we have another game. I won't say it's kind of tough, but not in the same league. We're playing Tottenham, I think it is, next weekend. A little bit easier to overcome that than Liverpool. Right now, I think when we meet Liverpool and Manchester City and Chelsea, right now at this moment, all those three teams is a little bit better than us. But the season is early, is young. There's a long way to go. Teams will go through patches. So the patches we have been through now, which is kind of rough, you know that Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester City will at some point hit some rough patches on their own. That's why it's important for us to stay as close as possible to them. So when they hit those rough patches, we can exploit that. So that was my what I see can happen this weekend on Sunday. But let's cross our fingers and let's hope we can nick it in the last minute. A last minute goal from either Ronaldo or Cavani would be awesome. Let's see what happens Sunday, guys. I'll be back either Sunday night with a video or Monday morning. See you later.